391, Episode 74 Perang Besar Saints and Demons 6. Pertempuran terjadi di pantai belum lama berselang masuk dan keluar dari iris Yu Jung Hyok. Pada hari itu, tombak yang memisahkan batas samudera bertempur melawan malam yang berlimpah. Itu adalah pertempuran, Gigantomachia, yang dia saksikan saat itu. Di tempat itu, ia melihat lautan yang tak terbatas dan malam yang tak terbatas bertabrakan. Poseidon dan Hades. Pertempuran status antara dua rasi bintang kelas Mid, pertikaian cemerlang dari status besar yang dimiliki oleh Constellation menempati puncak anak-anak dari yang ekspansif. Yu Jung Hyok menjadi saksi pertempuran itu dan terkejut karenanya, merasa tergerak olehnya, dan harus putus asa karenanya. Dan dia berdiri lagi. Dia melakukan apa yang perlu dia lakukan untuk melampaui musuh-musuh yang jauh itu. Serangan pedang ini adalah teknik yang dia ciptakan dengan menyalin musuh-musuh yang belum bisa dia lewati. Breaking the Sky Swordsmanship. Misteri batin. Aoyi. Membelah lautan gelap. Pedang Yu Jung Hyok bergerak seiring dengan ilusi lautan hitam pekat yang terbelah. Itu adalah serangan pedang yang meniru sabit Hades yang bertabrakan dengan tombak samudera. Bila ether yang terbakar dalam rona biru segera dicelup dalam cahaya hitam, dan energi magis eksplosif dari Transcender menggantikan kegelapan. Dan di detik berikutnya, menghancurkan energi langit, Yu Jung Hyok memotong badan Anubis. Guah! Serangan pedang yang kuat merobek tubuh Anubis, menjerit dan jatuh ke tanah. Bahkan jika mereka berada dalam skenario ke-80, kekuatan untuk mengalahkan konstelasi kelas Fable adalah banyak rasi bintang yang terkejut oleh inkarnasi Dewa Yu Jung Hyok. Kekuatan manusia yang akhirnya melebihi kekuatan rasi bintang menyebabkan mereka bergolak. Serang dia bersama. Api, bunuh dia. Seruan seseorang menjadi tanda dimulainya pemboman. Panah yang dipenuhi dengan energi magis yang kuat menghujani. Yu Jung Hyok menghadapi mereka semua dari depan. Pusut, pusut. Bahkan ketika panah menembus sisi, bahu, dan paha, dia berdiri di depan anak Croft untuk menangkis semua serangan. Dia harus bertanya padanya. Petik 2 titik titik. Mengapa? Anda akan mati. Lalu, mengapa kamu tidak membiarkanku? Tidak di tempat ini. Itu bukan bagian dari rencana Kim Dokja. Petik 2. Dia menggigit bibirnya, keras. Kim Dokja. Tentu saja, dia tahu siapa dia. Namun, apa dia sebenarnya? Apa pentingnya dia, bahwa pria yang sombong dan pantang menyerah ini memutuskan untuk membengkokkan keyakinannya sendiri pada pria itu? Yu Jung Hyok bergumam nyaring seolah menjawab pertanyaan diamnya. Aku pernah melihat sekilas kenangan dari pergantian regresi masa depan yang jauh. Masa depan yang jauh, katanya. Sebelum dia bisa mengatakan sesuatu, dia melanjutkan. Sepertinya banyak hal telah terjadi. Yah, sepertinya kamu sudah melihat sekilas sesuatu yang sangat menyenangkan, kalau begitu. Apakah Anda juga melihat akhir putaran ketiga juga? Petik 2. Aku tidak. Namun, saya memang melihat seperti apa masa depan Anda. Petik 2. Bahu anak Croft sedikit tersentak kaget. Dia memiliki prekognisi, tetapi yang bisa dimata-matai hanyalah potongan-potongan masa depan. Dia pasti tidak bisa melihat masa depan yang jauh di luar garis dunia ini. Yu Jung Hyok bertanya padanya. Apakah kamu ingin tahu? Tidak semuanya. He ignored her and opened his lips. Like how you've inherited the memories of yourself from the dua Entun, the you of the next tune will inherit the memories of you from the tiga Ertun. Just like that, you'll continue to use retrocognition, to glimpse into the portions of memories from the previous regression turn and inch forward into the future. Just like how you've doing until now. You're speaking of obvious things. Someone who can see the future can also say stuff like that. What are you trying to tell me, Harry? Replied Anna Croft with a dismissive smirk. But, Yu Jung Hyok's expression remained unreadable. Past the 700 tahun. Many things changed. You, me. Under the curse of remembering our past turn, we grew weaker and weaker. We, no, hang on. And past the 900 tahun, and then, the 1000 tah. One day, you told me this. Yu Jung Hyok slowly blinked his eyes and recalled a certain passage he read from the records of the 1863 Ertun. Yu Jung Hyok, I won't be transferring the memories of everything that happened so far to the next tune. I can do this anymore. I'm not like you. I can keep fighting on while carrying all this burden. From here on, you'll be alone. Are you confident of carrying the burdens of everything? Anna Croft complexion palette as she yelled out. That can be me. I won't break down. I am. Yul Cheng. His words digging in like a sharp oracle made her entire body shudder. Her empty eyes began quaking next. Before she could say something, though, he opened his mouth first. However, I'd like you not to Cheng. Her eyes opened wider and wider. I wish to keep hating you. I plan to remember every single thing you've done and never forgive you for them. For that purpose. He left the trembling Anna Croft behind and stepped forward while unleashing his status. Petik 2 titik titik. You must not go to the next tune. As they broke past the endless rain of arrows, they saw a lone constellation standing on the field, waiting. He was the strongest being on this battlefield. All of you, step aside. I shall fight that human. It was the God King of Thunderbolt, Indra. Countless other constellations could only tremble when confronted by his enormous power that symbolized the status of Gugugugugu. Constellation, Thursday's Thunder, is keeping a wary eye on God King of Thunderbolt. The constellation who also symbolized thunder and lightning, Thursday's Thunder, seemed to be burning with fighting spirit more than usual. Yu Jung-hyuk, stop. Even if it's you. Yu Jung-hyuk ignored Anna Croft's and dashed toward the God King of Thunderbolt. He already knew the status of Indra well enough. This being's power exceeded even that of Surya he fought some time ago. However, he wasn't planning to cower before this being. Not at all. Still not enough. Indra was not his ultimate target. Compared to the mid-grade constellations or outer gods he needed to fight in the future, a being like Indra was simply another crossing on the road he had to walk on. Also, the being he wanted to surpass more than anyone else was. Constellation, Secretive Plotter, is impressed by your will to fight. 5.000 coins have been sponsored. Yu Jung-hyuk's figure soared high into the sky before shooting straight toward Indra. How arrogant. The thunderbolt fired by the God King split the land apart. Ash-colored arcs of electricity danced violently as the field cracked open like a crashing tsunami wave. The electrical currents bounced up and tore into Yu Jung-hyuk's arm, they tore into his legs and penetrated into his stomach chapter. With every step he took in the air, he looked back to the time he had lived so far, and thought about the life he might have to repeat. The 41 Stone Regression Tune. The 362 and Regression Tune. Time Skim Dokja had shown him. And then. The 1863 Air Tune. The future he got to speed through the secretive plotter, flit in and out of Yu Jung-hyuk's brain. For him, this was a battle against himself. The realm he couldn't reach no matter how hard he tried, there he was, the 3 Air Tune of himself struggling crazy hard, and then struggling some more, so that he could surpass those moments. Kwa. Yu Jung-hyuk loved forward as if he was borrowing all of the possibilities of the life he'd have to live, and the life he might have lived. The Breaking the Sky swordsmanship. Breaking the Sky sword Saint Onche told him this, that he should not permit the heavens existing above him. That he should destroy everything, annihilate, and to disdain everything. However, what was he supposed to do when, after destroying the sky above, he finds there was something else up there? The secret technique, inner mystery transmission. Constellation, God King of Thunderbolt is ridiculing you. The constellations looking down on incarnations from beyond the heavens above, this sword strike was created solely to shoot them down. As he sensed the magical energy flowing within, Dark Heavenly Demon Sword, Yu Jung-hyuk recalled Chok Jun Gyeong's sword. With just one sword, he shoot apart mountains. With that sword, he let the world know that even the oceans could be shoot. So, what did one need in order to shoot a star down with just a single sword? Kaboom! One of Yu Jung-hyuk's legs exploded in mid-air. It wasn't because of Indra's thunderbolt, however. His muscles, tightly bunched together to a nonsensical degree, exploded with a loud noise. This noise was caused by the fables permeating into every corner of the muscle fibers, exploding to create a forward thrust. Stop that, you bastard! He saw the eyes of Indra freaking out. Yu Jung-hyuk felt the time slowing down. No, it didn't actually slow down, but rather, he had sped up, instead. In order to destroy a star, you must become a star yourself. This was the answer for someone like him, born as a mere-human, to reach the constellations. The speed that a live form couldn't withstand began tearing apart Yu Jung-hyuk's entire body. That was the price to pay to become a star when he wasn't one. His body shot forward like a black supernova and broke past the walls of the arching electricity, shattered all the constellations daring to block him, and finally, reached Indra's heart. The shooting star slash. He felt a definite sensation from the tip of the Dark Heavenly Demon Sword. And then, there was the voice coming from a star splitting apart, accompanied by the sound of something exploding in the distant cosmos. Yu Jung-hyuk sensed his body falling from the air. His eyesight blurred and he couldn't confirm the sight of the star he managed to shoot. The muscles of his body refused to hit his orders, not an ounce of energy remained in him. He still felt someone catching him through his fading 5 sense, though. The one he hated the most was Busi running away with him in her embrace. Yu Jung-hyuk, you're truly insane. But, I already knew that. While vomiting out more blood, Yu Jung-hyuk spoke to her. Petik 2. Indra. He's probably dead. His half-god body exploded, after all. Even if he survived that, he shouldn't be called a living being anymore. Anna Croft's voice was infused with a certain, unexplainable heat. Just her emotions conveyed in the tone of her voice was enough for him to understand what he had achieved here today. He had managed to destroy a star. A measly little human had indeed destroyed one of the 8 brightest stars of the Lokapala. All constellations belonging to the nebula are furious at incarnation Yu Jung-hyuk. Sadly, though, there were still countless stars left in the sky. If we had not rescued you just now, you'd have died Tere. He knew that she was speaking the truth. Through her precognition, Anna Croft must have seen his death. Even though it did rescue you, it's nothing more than just delaying the inevitable, though. Blood continued to float out of the wide-open wound on his waist. One of his legs was gone, and he didn't have any strength left to hold his blade upright. And eventually, her fleeing steps came to a halt too. He couldn't see the front, but he understood what her action meant. They no longer had any place left to escape on this battlefield. Anna Croft spoke. Petik 2 titik. Yu Jung-hyuk, I don't have any desire to live up to the 700 tahun alongside you. I'm the same. But then, God damn it, looks like we'll have to live together in the 4 tahun. That's not going to happen. Because he won't die in this place. Yu Jung-hyuk didn't possess precognition ability like her. He didn't know what would happen next. Even then, he continued to speak in a hushed voice. Because his voice was fading away, yet it was definitely not the voice of a man preparing himself for death. Almost at the same time, roars of crackling thunder could be heard coming from the far side of the heavens. They did not belong to Indra's thunderbolt. The space-time was distorting, and the noises were generated by something crossing over a gigantic gate. Yu Jung-hyuk couldn't see that spectacle, but Anna Croft witnessed it in his stead. It was an army enveloped in pitch-black darkness. A single realm buried deep inside an ancient myth was currently crossing over to this world. Yu Jung-hyuk, you stupid bastard. Yu Jung-hyuk heard the loud yelling from the one standing at the forefront of that army and spoke up. Petik 2 titik. Because, I have allies in this town who won't betray me. Nebula has joined the Great War of Saints and Demons. Fin.